part 2 of today's medicine wheel session that is all about continuing to connect with our ancestors a bit deeper and what parts of our shadow and other areas of our lives need our attention, involving our ancestral line. How we can connect deeper as well as heal it. In part 1, we went into the south and then into the west. And now we're going to go into the north with the concrete shamanism shadow work deck. For what part of our shadow needs our attention pertaining to that position of the cross? That was a full pass. We have self-control at the bottom. And this has to do with representing the wisdom you need to acquire as the card in the north. You have learned the lessons from the south and west cards. What wisdom is ready to mature within you? What is your greatest medicine that you are ready to embrace? What are the deeply buried treasures that have become available to you? Self-control has become that treasure, beloveds. Self-control. All right, let's see what the Concrete Shamanism book has to say about number 52. Self-control is a priestess archetype. With discipline, she weaves the fabric of destiny and fate. This card prompts us to consider our discipline and self-restraint, encouraging us to understand and manage our impulses, fostering balance, moderation, and mindfulness in our actions and responses. Exercising discipline and restraint, particularly in spiritual or emotional matters, demonstrating mastery over one's impulses. And the inquiry, how do I practice discipline in my life? No longer overly suppressing emotions. No longer oppressing emotions, but also self-control in and of itself is huge here. It's huge. So there's wisdom gained there. Now we're going to go into the mystical shaman for a bit more of that wisdom gained from what we've learned from the north and the west. I mean the south and the west, that has been applied to the north, which is the wisdom gained. Wisdom gained. Okay, that's a lot. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Sevens have been extremely significant just in the last few days. We had the 7-7 portal. Then we had the 7-8-9 portal. see its peak yesterday, and today being the 9th would be, well, the third day of the 789 portal. So in terms of wisdom gained, we have Earth, the Ghost Dance, the Time Master, the Witness, the Rattle, the Child, and the Arrow. That is a lot to go over. So I'm going to just do my best to keep it as simple as possible. First, we're going to take a look at the arrow. Number 3. In terms of wisdom gained from these lessons and experiences. When we are in alignment with our heart and soul, we are on target and will soon be hitting our mark. Be true to your calling, release attachments, and free yourself from the bondage of unbridled ambition. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which your intention meets the material world. The arrows have landed, I just heard. Those golden nugget arrows of wisdom have landed. Also symbolizing the need to set our creativity free, which was very much so mentioned towards the tail end of part 1, which is compressing at this time. We're being invited to pay attention and signifying that we are about to make our mark in some aspect of our lives. It illuminates the moment of contact when we know that our desires and intentions have traveled on the wind and landed in the perfect place for our highest good. Trust that our job is to be relaxed yet focused, keeping our eye on the prize yet releasing our intention with full expectation that it will land as it is supposed to. Don't worry about how or the exact form. So, we have gained the wisdom of the law of detachment, which was also mentioned in part 1. So part 1 is flowing right into part 2 effortlessly, with precision. Yes, bullseye precision, I just heard. Okay. We know what it means and continue to practice surrendering to Source and the universe. The outcomes of our situations and experiences. The Child, number 7. Number 7. The child knows the way to joy and happiness. Offering the return of a second innocence, a time born of wisdom and not of naivety. This card allows us to correct our course and offers us a second chance. It brings us the possibility of redemption and entering heaven while on earth. Well, that state of mind of heaven while on earth. Here to release us from the habit of being ourselves and to help us acquire a beginner's mind. So that forever student mindset is a wisdom obtained from the south and the west positions of the medicine wheel. You will have to definitely refer to part 1 if you're watching this part. If you're watching this now, you definitely want to watch part 1 first. Remaining open to learning and discovery. Who is your spouse or partner today? Can you see them with fresh eyes? Who is looking back at you in the mirror? Become a mystery unto yourself and reconnect with a sense of childlike wonder. So, gaining the wisdom that we can course correct and course direct our lives without the punishment. Without punishment. The rattle, number 43. In terms of wisdom gained. Because of this rattle, we have already gained all the wisdom of all four directions, because that is what the rattle is for. Carrying the shaman's prayer to the four directions. The body of the rattle is like the earth, spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills the desired destiny in her future, closing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. The rattle guides us to pray for all the earth, not just for our personal needs. When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided for. And because of the wisdom obtained, we are being guided by Source and Spirit to connect more deeply with these types of tools to work with Spirit. We had multiple tools come out in part 1 as well. But be careful, they are very sharp and can hurt you and others if they are not used mindfully. Set your old tools aside and take up the drawing instruments of Spirit. You are consciously stepping into partnership with the divine, and this is the time for courageous deeds. I just heard we are consciously stepping into that alliance with our ancestors. Integrating. It's one thing to become aware and realize. It's another ball game altogether when you take a dive into the integration aspects of it all. But look at all this wisdom already obtained, including yet another assignment and calling to utilize more of these tools to deepen our connection to Source and Spirit. Being offered the Creator's tools which must be put to use to serve a divine purpose. Wow. Oh yeah, there's so many more. The Witness, number 64 in terms of wisdom gained. Okay, we're going to keep the rest of these a little bit more brief. Number 64. In terms of wisdom gained, authenticity, the essence of authenticity and freedom. Divested of all social constraints and cultural conformity. Yeah, the wisdom obtained here is that we have overcome the sub-programming and continue to do so routinely on the daily. Separating the wheat from the tares, doing the pruning here and there. Bars. uncovering that light and letting it shine brightly, regardless of the perceived consequences. Being invited to shine brightly and to know that our true self is being called out to engage with the world. More wisdom into our authentic selves. The Time Master. The Time Master in terms of wisdom gained. That time is an illusion, moving in patterns, fractals, and sometimes turning like a wheel, and others move straight as an arrow. Humans see time like a ticking clock, and this image reminds us that there is only so much of it to spend in life, like a kind currency. At any given moment, you can see time in all its infinite potential, at one vast and all-encompassing, then shrunken and finite. It all depends on the perspective. So shifts in perspective, for sure, as well as recognizing that linear time is an illusion. The Ghost Dance, number 22. Ringing blessings over this wisdom. Number 22, master number. In terms of wisdom gained. A message of healing, a powerful medicine to offer you. A sacred moment needs to be created. So that the ancestors' wisdom can infuse us. Spending more time in that sacred space for integration is what I just heard. So the wisdom has already been obtained to do so, stepping into the abundance that is offered to us, receiving the gifts of those that have come before us, and writing a new story for our lives. So this is all about the ancestors right here that we've been addressing today, connecting deeper with, as well as healing. The ghost dance of the American Plains Indians unites the spirit of the living with those of the ancestors to bring peace to the world. When the ancestors are honored, they bring harmony to us. When we hold them responsible for all that is wrong with us today, they haunt us. Honor the spirits of the ancestors and receive their lessons and gifts. This includes honoring our own past lives. There it is. That is part of the wisdom obtained, which came from a lot of this insight came from these other cards in part 1. So again, it's just all aligning so beautifully. And we have yet another Earth card. In part 1, Earth Keepers came out. The Earth Keepers came out. And now we have Earth itself, number 17, in terms of wisdom gained. The gift of life. And nature itself. A reminder that all creatures are born of the earth and human beings are the stewards of all life on this planet. It refers to what we make of it, our health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity, and stability. It reminds us that the world of form is a gift from spirit and needs to be treated with respect. and need to focus on reverence and appreciation for our ancestors, our home, our physical home, the earth, and for the natural gifts that are coming to us now and always. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring in an animal spirit, a creature, teacher, ally, to assist us in this integration of insights, teachable moments, lessons, etc. that we obtained we have the wolf obtained from the earth and our ancestors, our past selves. We have the wolf assisting us in integrating this wisdom. The wolf, another earth creature. So we have one air and 2 earth. One air and 2 earth on the table so far. Okay, Mr. Wolf. You would think the wolf and the fox would be like right next to each other, but they're not. There it is. The guardian of family and tribe, activism and ritual. Wisdom gained. We're more reliable, democratic, and fearless. Because we have been practicing letting go to bring it into balance, to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies even. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will be surely uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. So the wolf is like the animus mundi of the archetypes, the accept all and reject none of the wild unknown animal spirits. Beautiful. So as soon as we embraced our history with the earth, as well as our history of our past lives and our ancestors and all of that combined, and took it upon ourselves to put the work in, to take that first step and then that next step, and doing so continuously has made us more reliable. Beautiful. Also, the wisdom to not follow in certain footsteps any longer as well has been placed on my heart. It's like we're not rejecting the concept because we may have all already went there, but then it didn't work for us. So instead of rejecting it, we integrate it, but then we also move on to the next. You can detach without the rejection, without the dramatic exits. Embrace all, exclude none. All right, now we're going to go into the fourth position of this medicine wheel session, which is representing our possible destiny, the way that we will share our treasures and gifts with others. Going back into the concrete shamanism. Shadow work deck pertaining to our destiny, our shared treasures and gifts with others. So our destiny and our shared gifts and treasures with others. Well, that took no time at all. We have angry in reverse and understanding in the upright. Transformation successful, I just heard, because the angry card is upside down, and it also has the number 13. So we have two cards in the East position. Interesting. Angry in reverse, number 13, and understanding, which is number 3, in the upright. And 3. The angry card is an ogre archetype. From the depths of their rage, mountains tremble and seas churn, expressing strong feelings of displeasure, often as a reaction to perceived wrongs or challenges. So it's like saying, hold on. Rage unchecked. Explosive anger that can be destructive, often without a clear cause. How do I cultivate calm and patience? So part of our calling is to be that one who remains calm, practices patience, it's part of our destiny, to also make it understood that there's a time for this and there's a time for that. And by golly, some of those times, it's one of those enough is enough kind of times. And we allow ourselves to experience that anger, that rage. And interestingly enough, it came up this morning, yet another synchronicity with some soul familia about rage and how they go around and they say they have like a rage party. Like they go around and say F you to a bunch of different things within their site, and F this, blah, 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 fill in the blanks. I mean, that's just their technique of, like, it's like rage ranting, but in a way where by the time the raging is over, you're already laughing. Because it's like screaming in your pillow, you know, like you go screaming in your pillow. Most of the time, you feel better rather quickly. You know, demonstrating healthier ways to deal with anger, to embrace it, to understand that it is an emotion just like any other. It's as much of an emotion as joy. But it's not a power state. Anger is not a power state. Because even though it could fall in like the lowest spectrum of power states, but there's a right place and a right time to in a constructive way seeking healthier ways to express anger as that guide and mentor coming out in the wisdom gained, being that teacher of anger management. I just heard, like, what the heck are doodles, in some kind of way, maybe not necessarily in those professional terms, but that's what just came through. So now let's take a look at number 3. Basically all things to do with like anger, like going inward but also externally for resources, and just really putting in a lot of study about, I'm hearing like the depth psychology study around the theme of anger, but also how to work through it with multiple tools, materials, and modalities, so that what you have to offer to others in terms of that guidance isn't type A or limited. Like, there's a little something of value for everyone in terms of that topic of anger. All right. And then we have the understanding goddess, gazing deep into the cosmos. She comprehends the silent cries of every star. I'm being told there's another teachable moment with that angry card. The ogres represent brute force, ignorance, and the raw, untamed aspects of the human psyche. Engaging with these aspects of the ogre archetype in shadow work can lead to valuable insights about our relationship with anger, aggression, and dominance. So there it is. The ogre archetype. So not just the angry card and anger in and of itself, but also aggressiveness and overbearingness. How we handle anger, aggression, fear, and dominance. Shadow work leading to valuable insights about our relationships with anger, aggression, and dominance, and then teaching others how to work through that as well. transforming the ogre from a destructive force into a source of strength and resilience. An ongoing journey towards self-understanding and personal transformation, providing insight into the raw, primal aspects of the psyche. Furthermore, engaging with our own power dynamics, emotions, and reactions, fostering growth through introspection and self-awareness. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you, Patrick and Merrick, for this phenomenal tool for teaching, mentoring, leading, guiding, building. Because with what we do, it's all of the above. The healer, the messenger, the warrior. Little by little, getting more deeply in touch with all of our archetypes and aspects. And it doesn't typically happen in one lifetime. So here we are, connecting deeper with our ancestors so that more golden nuggets and teachable moments and lessons of value can be integrated, but also transformative to us, but transformative to others to a degree, showing how it's done through the testimony and the triumphs. Thank you, Spirit. All right, now let's go back into Mystical Shaman for a bit more of what is our destiny and gifts that we are meant to bestow upon ourselves and others. We have the spiral and the Andean cross. Whoa, this. Wow, you better tighten up those bootstraps. This is some good stuff. But I'm hearing not for the weak. This is part of our destiny, the Andean cross and the spiral. Wow. Plus that deep empathy that comes from the goddess being in the upright, gazing deep into the cosmos. She comprehends the silent cries of every star. Now, I remember mentioning in part 1 about what needs to DIE, which is I believe the West position, what needs to DIE, and that is the overuse of the term empath, or the title label empath. The overuse of it needs to DIE. But here it is showing up as part of our destiny. Bars! Isn't that something? Deep empathy and insight into others' feelings, showcasing a profound connection and emotional intelligence. And in what scenarios have we made genuine efforts to comprehend another's point of view? Calling us to show empathy, to try to understand perspectives different from our own, and to ask us to delve into our unconscious biases, attitudes, or preconceived notions that prevent us from truly understanding others. The understanding goddess encourages open-mindedness, curiosity, and a willingness to learn. So that would be what we would also be bestowing upon others. Now let's take a look at the Andean cross. Okay, what did I do with the cross? Seriously. Wow. Number 2, the second card in the deck. As part of our destiny, the cosmology of the shaman depicting the 4 cardinal directions. So here we are looking at yet another version of a medicine wheel. The upper and lower worlds and the steps to reach these realms. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom and to break free of linear time. So this is also part of our destiny, which already showed up as evidence of that we have already been in alignment with this. And it's part of our destiny to experience higher states of awareness. So on top of the wisdom already obtained, we are meant to obtain so much more. So much more. That well of wisdom that anyone could drink deeply from. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it would be for everyone, even if we had something to offer for everyone. Also announcing the start of a great journey as part of our destiny. Time to raise our gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which, until now, has seemed beyond your grasp, allowing new wisdom to guide us, and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. Now let's take a look at the spiral, number 50. A tool for growth and transformation. The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and the unknown, and then entering far out into the heavens. Crucial to surrender to the journey until the exhausted paradigm dissolves in the depths of the psyche. Evidence of surrendering to the journey was already showing up. And part of our destiny is to just keep doing a lot of this. Definitely go listen to part 1 so that you can fully grasp what these cards mean that are coming in right now. Because it will all come together and make absolute sense by the time you get to this point. Surrendering to the journey. And its energy is released to give birth to a new reality. To renew ourselves, we must shed our old skin. We have already done this, so do not keep scraping away at the old, but welcome the soft new skin that is starting to grow. A softer life, I just heard, is part of our destiny. A soft new skin that is starting to grow. Break the habit of working on your faults all the time and let nature take its course. Know that a new skin feels vulnerable and scary at times. Trust the medicine of the spiral as it guides your journey of renewal, a rebirth, and allowing nothing to get in the way of the process. As the time is right and the forces of nature are supporting us in the endeavor. Using stones, twigs, or yarn, build a spiral on the ground that is large enough to walk through with at least 3 turns. Enter the spiral slowly. Once in the center, offer to the earth the feelings or situations that you no longer want in your life. As you walk back the way you entered, feel recharged for your new journey. Wow. And let's see what animal, creature, teacher, ally, animal spirit is going to assist us in our destiny. One, please. Okay, well, Source said no. We have several creature, teacher, allies assisting us, and one of them is the cosmic egg. Are you flipping kidding me? And flaunting it with the peacock. Not in a demeaning way. We also have the octopus, and look, the zebra. We're twinning, kind of, even though I think this was supposed to be like white tiger print, but it could be zebra. And matchy matchy. Part of our destiny, the zebra is assisting us as an ally. Yep, peacock, zebra, octopus, and the cosmic egg. We're going to take a look at the cosmic egg last. So we'll put the cosmic egg here. And then you, and here. We're going to take a look at the peacock first. An air. So we have two air. Yes, two air. And then 1, 2. I'm a bit confused. Is zebra? Hold on. Okay, here's the cosmic egg. We're just going to stick that right there. Okay, so the zebra is a fire creature. And then we have water. We have all the elements. We have all 5 elements on the table: earth, fire, water, and spirit. Okay, see, that's just what I wanted to confirm that before we went any further. Very good. We have all of it, all the tools, materials, and modalities being integrated, and just also the wisdom of knowing that in terms of integrating and releasing, learning new, and then integrating and releasing, it's an ongoing process. Never one and done. As part of our destiny, we have the peacock assisting us. inner beauty, compassion, and being an assimilator of anything is part of our destiny. Being confident and kind is part of our destiny. The wisdom is that the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. And that's part of our destiny. So this doesn't give any one of us permission to start getting some kind of I'm better than you, better than thou, superiority complex. Beloveds, remain humble. Alright, let's take a look at the octopus next. Reaching, yearning, interested, engaged, and intelligent. But yearning, lacking, boundaries, and direction are like the focal points of the energy of this card. But as part of our destiny, establishing healthy boundaries, being patient and firm, and it may be a very old habit to change. A wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. Hold on though. But when in balance and in the upright, we're interested, engaged, and intelligent. So we're not out there trying to be caught up in that lack of healthy boundaries. We'll just put that out there. Speaking of it, I didn't ever think that I was going to have to ever say this, but the next time that someone starts speaking in a smutty fashion in my chat and in my comments, there will be no warnings, there will be no timeouts, you will be blocked. Thank you in advance for your reverence, respect, and cooperation. So that I don't have to feel drained or uneasy. If you notice after spending some time with someone you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Oh, I laid it on thick yesterday and will continue to do so with even more of a warrior stance. I will not be as soft as I was yesterday. Okay, well, there's that. Now we can see how zebra applies to our destiny. And this is not to say that all of this is like limited This is just like scratching the surface, okay, of our destiny and what's part of our soul's purpose, which a lot of it is leading through teaching and mentorship and instruction in some kind of way. An eccentric, creative visionary, worldly, enthusiastic, and fashion forward. Most precious of gems, young at heart, well cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. That's part of our destiny. Being the type of personality that is not only a delight, but also opens our minds, opens others' minds. Be prepared that potent magic is contagious. Part of our destiny is to be that charismatic, eccentric, creative visionary I just heard. Yes, to contribute to the global health through environmental and volunteer work as well. And this card may be this card may be a hint to pack your bags. An epic adventure. An epic adventure. And now we have the cosmic egg also as part of our destiny. Harmony in the infinite within the finite. Completion, harmony. The end of karmic carousels I just heard. Karmic debt has been neutralized. It's over. It's complete. We have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Being alone is definitely not a part of our destiny, beloveds. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. So this is saying that one major journey came into one journey came to completion that was pretty major in order to embrace that new journey. Between all four of these animal spirits combined are like basically saying the journey we're about to embark on is going to be a bit of a softer ride, okay? We'll just put it that way. Thank you, Spirit. Whew. Goodness. All right, now we're going to draw this to a close with some messages from our galactic ancestors and lineage, which is why this deck is even sitting here, because this is all pertaining to connecting deeper to our ancestors and healing the ancestral line with this medicine wheel. So, final messages from our galactic family, our galactic ancestors. I'm going to make one full pass. One full pass. And that's it. So, that's one full pass. We have shine your light. High heart chakra out again. And from the bottom, we're going to read this one first. This is loving compassion as a message from our galactic family. Bringing more love to a situation. Oh yeah, this is pertaining to our destiny as well. Bringing more love to a situation, whether it's toward ourselves or someone connected to the question. There may be a need for the forgiveness or for seeing things from a fresh, more expansive perspective. Remember, you are loved and have unlimited access to the gentle yet transformational force of loving compassion as and when you need it. To bring yourself back to your heart, think about those you love and moments with them where you have felt joy. Expand this feeling out to more and more people, creatures, and places until the whole planet is infused with the beautiful, warm, and loving feeling. Shine your light. No one can do you as you can. Yet sometimes feel that we need to be a certain way, a way not aligned with our authentic self. It takes discipline to do what we love, especially if we are natural givers. It's easy to get caught up with other people's lives. Tending to our own needs harms none, and we will have a lot more to give. So we will definitely be able to tend to our own needs a lot more as part of our destiny. It's like our needs will be met, I just heard. No more concern about our needs being met. You are a sovereign being, regaining compassionate empowerment and remembering what lights up your world. So also being more confident about your needs being met because you are communicating more clearly about your needs. Thank you, Spirit. As well as this high heart chakra and ecstatic bliss as part of our destiny. This card caps into the blissful oneness we feel as we drop our edges and protective containers. This is the place where we feel held and seen, enough to flow into oneness, where the eternal part of me meets the eternal part of you. This is the selfless state where our higher selves commune to illuminate over our perspective on how we share, gift, and lift others in our joyful everflow. Consider our life purpose by exploring what allows you to give in joy. Namaste. That's what that means. Namaste. Our higher selves communing and seeing one another and honoring them. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This one went much longer than part one, but it had to be done. And I want to thank you so very much for listening. If you made it this far, you are a rock star. With much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours. Brightest of blessings.
In the hush between two heartbeats, where the sky forgets to storm, a peace arrives unspoken, like twilight wrapped in dawn. The sacred ones are merging now, the spirals laced with flame. Not for romance, but remembrance. Not for titles, but true names. They meet where ley lines shimmer in temples made of breath, anchoring the ancient grid eyes that once fell into death. Their eyes are stars reborn as fire, their palms a golden gate. They touch the earth with frequency as time stands still and begins to wait. Walk-ins gather quietly with memories still raw, unfolding codes they've carried you like rose petals in straw. We hold them not with questions, but presence firm and wide, midwives of becoming with no need to decide. The solar plexus pulses bright, a lion wakes within. Courage no longer armor, but sunlight on the skin. And trust once thin and tattered becomes a living bridge, where inspiration dances like dew along the rose's ridge. Is not the ending, it is the sacred cue that heaven walks in bodies now and earth remembers too.